If you're going to take the CWI exam, this is some general math that you need to know. In this video, we'll discuss fractions, adding like fractions, adding unlike fractions, converting fractions to decimals, converting decimals back to fractions, converting inches in fraction form to millimeters in decimal form, converting millimeters in decimal form to inches in fraction form, change percentage to decimals, calculating the area of a circle, calculating the maximum tensile strength of a diameter area, calculating the maximum tensile strength of a rectangular shaped specimen, calculating elongation, calculating reduction in area, calculating joules per inch or joules per millimeter, and also calculating carbon equivalence. We often come across mathematics that sometimes intimidate us. One of these conversions is fractions to decimals and vice versa. A fraction is a numerical quantity that is not a whole number. If you cut a pie in half, then each half represents one half of the whole, which will be in example number 1. The same goes for a pie into 16 equal pieces. These 16 pieces are 1/16 of the whole pie, which would be in example 2. Note that in example 1, you see 1/2, which is 1/2. 1 is the numerator, which is the original number. 2 is the denominator, the number that will divide the numerator into parts. Fractions work just like basic division. One number is divided by the other. Adding like fractions. When adding like fractions, only the top number is added. For example, 1/8 plus 1/8 plus 1/8 equals 3/8. Adding unlike fractions. When adding unlike fractions, works similar with a few additional steps. For example, 1/8 plus 1/16. This is accomplished by finding the least common denominator, LCD. Remember, whatever is done to the top of the fraction must be done to the bottom as well. The LCD in this example would be 16. So 1/8 plus 1/16. So we're going to change the 1/8 to 16ths. So you multiply the 1 times 2. So if you did the top, you must do that also to the bottom, which is 8 times 2. So that would come to 2/16. So 2/16 plus 1/16 is 3/16. Converting fractions to decimals. Fraction functions as a division problem. And converting a decimal format is fairly easy. Divide the top number by the bottom number, the numerator divided by the denominator. See the examples below. For instance, 332 equals 3 divided by 32, which equals 0.094. And a few more examples is listed below. Converting decimals back to fractions. There are a few more steps involved in reversing the process of decimals back to fractions. First, you multiply the decimal by 32. Then you round to the nearest whole number, which is also referred to as units position. Then you put the number over 32 in fraction form, reduced to the simplest fraction. Example, 0.125 equals 0.125 times 32 equals 4.000. Step 2. 4.000 to the nearest unit or to the nearest whole number is 4. Step 3. You put 4 divided by 32. Then you reduce it to the simplest form, which is 1/8.